Hey, what's good, guys? So today's story time is another one of those demonetizable story times, I would say. So today's story time involves my friend's mom, actually, and we caught her doing something pretty mischievous, I would say. And it's kind of funny because this isn't the first time I've caught my friend's mom, not this friend, but a different friend's mom, doing something kind of similar, but not the exact same. The story is definitely one of a kind. So if you guys enjoy this story time and find it funny or crazy or whatever, leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. And let's jump into this shit. So about 3 years ago is when the story takes place. A pretty long time ago. I was hanging out with a friend, and at the time, I was kind of on and off with smoking and stuff like that. And my friend's like, yo, dude, you want to come over and smoke? I was like, I don't know if I'll smoke, but I'll come over and hang out. So I went over there, and a few other friends of mine were there. And of course, they were passing a blunt around, and it came to me, and I was like, you know what? One hit won't hurt, right? So I took one hit of a blunt. Now, that's all I did. That was it. At the time, I really wasn't smoking. I didn't want to. It's kind of how I am now. Like, I just don't like to smoke that much anymore. And I was feeling okay. Nothing too crazy because I took one fucking hit. But as all my friends kept smoking the blunt, I hear a door open in the front of the house. I hear, hey, I'm home. And it's my friend's mom. My friend who was having us all over. Now, I didn't know how his mom would react. I had never met her prior to this. Like, this is just one of my high school friends, so I didn't, like, know him that well. He wasn't, like, one of my best friends where I knew his parents. And she knew none of us. So she comes over to the room, and she goes, hey, honey. And then, like, she opens the door, and she sees us all. And she was like, oh my, what are you guys doing? And my friend's like, Mom, I can't explain. I'm so sorry. She's like, you guys smoke pot? I didn't know you smoked pot. Like, what are you guys doing at that school? And she's like, everyone get out. Everyone get out of my house right now. Right fucking now. And she starts freaking out. My friend's mom just starts freaking the fuck out on all of us. And she's like, I can't believe you, Eric. I can't believe you. You're smoking pot now? And, like, my friend's like, Mom, like, it's just something I got into recently. Like, it's not that bad for you. And he's trying to, like, argue with her. She's like, I don't care. Everyone get out of my house. Me and you are talking one-on-one. And she kicked all of us out. I didn't get in any trouble because she didn't know my parents or, anything like that. And, I was pretty much almost an adult at this point. So I was fine. And I walked home with some of my friends, and that was it for that, right? I thought that was the end of it. So the next day comes along, and my friend hits me up. He's like, yo, Austin, you got to come over right now. I'm like, why? He's like, I just got to talk to you about something. I was like, are you allowed to have people over? Like, didn't your mom just freak the fuck out on all of us yesterday? And, like, didn't you get in trouble or something? He's like, yeah, but, like, you got to come over. I'm like, all right, is your mom there? He's like, no, she comes home in an hour. I want you to be here for this. I was like, okay. So I was so confused. I was so curious. So I go over to his house, I walk inside, and he goes, look at this shit. And he starts showing me text messages and telling me a story about yesterday after we left. So apparently after we left his house the day before, when we all got caught, she asked who sold him the weed, and he snitched. He told her who it was. It was one of his friends, a friend of mine as well. And he basically gave up his number and basically told his mom everything, like the dude's name, and that he sold him the weed and all that shit. And he was like, please don't text him, Mom. Please don't call him. And then his mom was like, mind your own business. I'll do what I want with this number. And she walked away. And that was the end of their conversation. So he starts showing me these text messages and explaining what they mean. And he shows me. And they're between him and the dealer that he buys his weed from. And the dealer's saying, yo, dude, your mom just texted me. And I was like, oh, shit, like, this is crazy. And I keep reading. And he's like, your mom just texted me. She wants to buy a dub. And then my friend was like, what the fuck? Are you serious? He's like, yeah, like, why'd you give your mom my number? And he's like, I don't know. Like, you're going to sell it to her? And he's like, yeah, of course. So my friend's mom ended up driving over to his house the same night that she caught all of us. And, like, after my friend snitched and gave her the number. And basically she used my friend, like, used catching her son smoking weed to get a plug, to get a dealer. So she then bought weed from my friend's plug and, like, was trying to pretend that she was going to, like, yell at him or something. But in reality, she was just buying weed, and she wanted a weed plug. So we fucking figured this out. My friend did all the detective work, and the dealer told him. And we basically had her caught red-handed, right? Because he basically said, yo, like, your mom's going over to buy weed. And then he's like, oh, your mom bought weed. So after we figured this all out, we wait, like, 30 minutes, and his mom gets home. And we basically confront her. I didn't say anything. I just kind of sat on the sidelines. But my friend was confronting her. He's like, hey, Mom, so you called my friend yesterday? And she's like, no, I haven't called him yet. Why? I plan on it. I'm going to call his mother, too. And my friend's like, you can cut the bullshit, Mom. I know what you did. And she's like, what did I do? What did I do, Eric? And he's just like, you bought weed from my own fucking dealer. And she was like, no, I did not. And he's like, oh, yeah? And he pulls his phone out and starts reading the text messages in front of her. And she's like, put that away. Put that away. You're embarrassing me in front of your friend. And I'm like, hey, it's no big deal. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. And she's like, no, I don't buy weed. I don't smoke pot. This is bullshit. And he's like, Mom, where's the weed? You took mine yesterday, and you're using my friend as a plug. Where's the weed? And she's like, I don't have any weed. And he's like arguing with her about if she has weed or not. And finally, she admits it. She's like, whatever. I bought a little bit of pot because I was stressed from your dumbass smoking weed. And he's like, so you ground me and yell at me about smoking pot, and then you go and do it yourself. Good logic, Mom, good. And they start arguing. And he goes, I can't fucking take this. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to smoke a blunt. And she's like, no, you are not. And he walks into his room and she follows, yelling at him still. He grabs a fucking blunt out of his nightstand and walks outside and lights it up. And I'm just thinking, am I dreaming right now? Like, am I really witnessing my friend and his mom argue because he got caught smoking weed and then he caught her buying weed from where he got his weed from and she's smoking? So like, I was so confused. But he goes outside and lights up this blunt and she takes it out of his mouth and just goes, no more for you in this household ever again. If you want to smoke pot, get a job and move out. And he was like, you are such a hypocrite. You're such a hypocrite. And she goes, you want to see a hypocrite? And she fucking hits the blunt right in front of both of us. And I was like, damn, I guess she's right. That is really a hypocrite move. Like, you can't argue with that logic. So they keep arguing. And finally, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go, guys. You guys have a good one. And my friend's like, I'll text you later, bro. I was like, all right. And she's like, no, he won't be texting you later. He's going to be grounded. And I was like, okay, have a good one, guys. And I walk away. So I fucking walked all the way home, just completely mind-fucked. Like, I did not think my day was going to turn out like that. I thought when he invited me over, he was going to show me some text between, like, I don't know, some girl he was talking to or, like, something going on with beef at our school or something. But no, it was because his mom was buying weed from his own dealer and then he caught her. And then it just turned into a shit show that I couldn't even believe I was seeing with my own eyes. So, in the end, he couldn't smoke weed in their house anymore for like a year. But eventually they just stopped giving a fuck and now he smokes all the time in their house. She couldn't really ground him because he was like 17, so he was pretty much close to being 18, and right when he turned 18 soon, it wouldn't have mattered. And plus, she liked to smoke herself, probably in the house too, so I don't know, I guess she would just go easy on him for that reason. But either way, that is pretty much the story of how me and my friends got caught smoking weed back in the day, and then my friend reverse caught his mom buying it and smoking it too, and I witnessed it with my own two eyes, and it was a mind fuck. And yeah, if you guys thought this was a mindfuck and you enjoyed this story time or found it funny, please leave a like on the video. I guess moral of the story is, there really was no moral to this story. It was just a big mindfuck and it was pretty funny. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Leave your guys' stories in the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys all later. Peace.